I seriously gotta get music for this channel. Alright, so, hey you Green, welcome to the stream. Man, right on time. Hang on, I gotta move you. Oh no, no I don't. Wait a second. Wait, yeah I do. I still gotta move you. Okay, so it's this one, this one, this one. Okay. Man, I thought I had two different, whatever. Anyway, so, today is the 18th weekly roundup. That's exciting to say. Even though the channel is still kind of like on its small side, with a little dedicated fan base, having just 18 of these, that feels good. I can't wait to hit 20. I gotta do something special when I hit 20. So, today's topics, which you can't see on the screen because I just didn't, you know, I didn't put them on. But to summarize, um I have a special announcement for my book. I'm basically going to be talking about it a lot today. I want to talk about like some things in the background maybe sound off a bit, and maybe talk about some of my inspirations too. And of course the special announcement. I am also going to talk about, of course, like we do every one of these segments, we're going to look back at the past streams of the week, and I'll just go over them and we'll talk about them. Maybe some background stuff too. And maybe today I might sound off a little bit. You know, just a little bit. Not enough to turn it into a rant video, but just a little bit. So, let's just get into it. We will start by looking over the past videos. And of course, we have a full week this time. I'm happy about that. I had a week where the net was just terrible for some reason. It was just awful, and I only had like 2 complete streams to show off. But today, no, full week. And of course, it's on chronological order, I think. Yeah. We got that one, and then we got this one. Yeah, okay. So Monday we played Beyond Good and Evil. Holy crap! I gotta turn that down. Okay. So, anyways, Monday we played Beyond Good and Evil, and I've got to say I'm having a lot of fun with this game. It's pretty like I say it a lot. I have a habit of repeating myself, and I'm aware of it. The game is quite linear, to be honest. Although I will say that I find a lot of it fun. It's very fun. It's a very fun premise. It is serious as well. It's a weird case because it has like this very charming aesthetic to it and a very colorful world. But the story is quite serious. It's actually kind of a weird sort of schism where I almost can't take the plot seriously just because of the way it looks. Like I had a certain problem where uh there are some cartoons out there, and I don't understand why it's like this, where they want to make like a cartoon where I don't know, think of like the cutesiest thing you could think of, like Hello Kitty or something like that, right? It's Hello Kitty, but the plot is like World War II or like something terrible like that. I can't take it seriously just based on the way it looks, and this game is kind of like that. It has like this let me in. You have like that kind of underdog rebellion group kind of story. You're basically a photojournalist, and you're uncovering, as it says here, human trafficking, which I have to point something out. What if this is not the... I have to point something out, and I hope I'm not wrong about this, but most of the kidnapped people aren't what I call human. Yeah, see, it has like that little exclamation mark. You know, just actually like looking at the game, because when I'm in like the factory or you see in like the cutscenes or something like that, humans do exist. Jade is not the only one. However, I feel like there's a all of the victims, they're not human. This is... Now, I'm not sure if they're using human as like a general term for anyone living on the planet, or anyone with a certain amount of sapience, you know, not exactly like biologically human, but like metaphorically human. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's just a little thing I've seen with this game. But there's that. Let me see what else I can think of. Yeah, the plot. It's quite serious. It's still decent, but it's quite serious, considering. Okay, well, we're not going that way. Wait, is it one of those things I had to... Although I feel like it's coming off with like some storyline ticks that I'm sort of used to over time. This game was made like in around like the early 2000s, so it could just be like early uses of like certain tropes, but I kind of smell a backstab coming. I kind of smell it coming. Don't spoil it for me, but I smell it coming. Like I said on like, what was it? Thursday stream? Yeah, yesterday. Like I feel like the governor who's like helping out like the rebel group, they must have some kind of like in allegiance with like the alpha, you know, the officers, the government basically. Yeah, it has to be this place. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too cynical, and the story is just as straightforward as it possibly can be. We'll see. We'll go through it together. As for actually completing the game, well, at least the streams at least, we're having a lot more time on the ship, I realize. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I've noticed. I wonder if the planet that we're on is like mostly water. Because I wouldn't call it Earth. It doesn't consider itself Earth. It calls itself... Actually, I don't even know the name of the planet. I just know the name of like the area. Hylian? No, wait, that's freaking Legend of Zelda. What the hell am I talking about? Anyway. But yeah, I'm really enjoying like the gameplay cycle. Again, very Legend of Zelda like, it's pretty straightforward. You get a new thing, you use the new thing to death, and you move on to the next dungeon. It's just the dungeons in this game aren't exactly like temples or literal dungeons. They're like military bases. Basically the same kind of thing, you know? Sick driving skills, huh? Oh, crap. I really hate doing this. I know I keep saying it, but I have to keep talking about it. It's the weirdest thing. I've got some pretty old games that I play, right? I've got some pretty old games that I play, and none of them need this. It is the weirdest thing. None of them need this. Beyond Good and Evil, not the Anniversary Edition, by the way. But it's when I got this game on sale from GOG, I didn't know the Anniversary Edition existed. Like, it did, it just I didn't know. I probably would have gotten the Anniversary Edition if I knew I would have to face this kind of problem. But for some reason, when I open Beyond Good and Evil, the game I have now, which I got from GOG, not through their launcher. I download, like, every time I get something from GOG, I get the backup download so I can have it. It's mine. Sure, it's not on a disc. I'd rather a disc, but I don't think there are a lot of PCs that nowadays that actually have like a drive like that. So that's kind of out of the question. But that's a discussion for a whole nother time. Let's just focus on this. So when I turn the game on, it has like, I don't know the technical words. It has like super priority. I literally cannot touch OBS. I can't even, like, I hit Windows, nothing happens. I just have to play the game. That's why it kind of looks the way it does on stream. You know, because I have like this background, you know, is because I can't fix it. I'd rather do, like, I would rather crop out the black bars and like try and get it like on the left here. No, I cannot. And, you know, move you guys over on like above me, kind of what I did with Septerra Core, which we're gonna talk about later. But this is kind of like just how I do it. I had to. It's the only game I have that does this. I have to use display capture, and I don't know why. Anyway, oh, hang on. Now I'm kind of curious with the other three. Please. All right, so yeah, I get stuck. Look, I'm honest with everyone. I'm honest with everyone. When I get stuck, I'll just tell you, right? I'm like, hey, I'm going to look this up. I don't want to stay here forever. I'm honest. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm like the greatest gamer ever, right? And I know everything. I'm not going to do that to you. Because that would be lying. I'm not. Also, can I just say one thing about this? I'm not sure if anyone else who's played this game has the same problems I do, but I have a real big beef with the camera. Like, I have a very big beef with it. Sometimes it's awkwardly close to Jade, and sometimes it's just abhorrent. Like, yesterday's stream when I was trying to fight, like, those, horseshoe crab aliens. It was terrible. Because I'm playing keyboard and mouse, right? I'm not even sure if I can play this game with a controller. So I've been using keyboard and mouse this entire time. And when I move, like, the mouse, it moves the camera. But the game wants to force a certain perspective. So when I'm trying to move the mouse so I can keep track of an enemy that I'm trying to fight, the game is fighting me. And it ends up doing like this weird thing where I'm like looking at Jade's shoes. It's the weirdest thing. Let me see. I think nothing really spectacular has been happening. I think the most dramatic thing that's happened in so far of the game is that Paige was taken and apparently sent to the moon. So I guess it's gonna be a whole part of the game trying to rescue Paige, and he just turns out to be like this you know, he's like the chief of the rebels. I know they have a more complicated name, but give me a break. All right. And I don't know. It doesn't hit me that hard. You see, there's the thing about like writing, right? As like, there are things that are supposed to be a surprise, right? Let's say in this case, Paige turning out to be like the leader of the rebels. That's supposed to be a surprise, but I think, I've been, and maybe a lot of us, who knows? I think there's like some like desensitization, if I'm even saying that right, with sort of like plot twists now. Because again, you have to realize this game was like, I don't know, 2005, maybe? That kind of thing would still be surprising, I would think. Right? How do I get across? That kind of thing would still be surprising, but here in like 2026, it's not. So it just doesn't hit me. Although then again, I am a person with a very callous attitude, with very sad things that happen in TV shows, or like anime and something like that. So, I don't know. It's something between there. I'm not sure how to think about it. Like, I'm not tough. I'm gonna tell you, that's not what I'm saying. Because there are modern stuff that has made me, like really sad, and I thought it was amazing. Like, I know it's gonna sound silly, but when I saw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because I saw, like, the latest series, right? I saw 1, 2, 3, I quit out in the middle of 4. It was too goofy for me. And when Caesar died, you know, yeah, I choked up. I'll own up for that. That was sad as fuck. Season 2 is amazing. A little, actually, if I'm to argue, like, I'm not sure there's any JoJo fans here or in the future. Let me know. I think my favorite season is 2. Season 3, I can see why it's the favorite. I can see it. And I don't dispute that. Not my favorite, but I can see why it's the favorite. Part 1 is the one I'm like, that's terrible. Or maybe not terrible, it's just like, it's super dramatic. If I have to tell, like, people who want to get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, just watch part 3. Or just watch part 2. Just skip 1. Unless you really want to know, like, the origins of Dio and the Joestar bloodline, then watch part 1. But I'm gonna tell you, it's rough. It's rough, and it gets really dumb. Really, really dumb. Like, when I tell you that when JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gets dumb, season 1 and part 1, part 4 is the pinnacle of it being as dumb as it can be. Trust me on this one. But hey, any JoJo fans, you know, either here today or like in the future, watching the video, let me know. What do you think? If you had to introduce a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure season to like a newbie, which one is it? You know what? Can I But anyway, I have an idea. So like when a character dies or something like that, and it's just out of nowhere, I feel like they're kind of missing the point. The reason why Caesar dying is so dramatic is because Caesar has been there the entire time. You get to know Caesar. You get to know his allegiances. He has like this, of course, that very anime frenemy thing with Joseph. And you know, and when he dies, that does suck. Right? And I feel like the acting was just I think it was pretty good. You know, pretty decent. I listened to the Japanese dub because I'm not one of those guys that I was like, oh, JP dub is better than English dub. I have a weird sort of like look at that. But I went JP dub simply because I think they pulled a real lazy card when it came up with the English dubbing. You can argue with me on that. I think it's lazy. Let me see. So yeah, anyways. So like when Caesar dies, yeah, that's sad because he was like he was like the friend. He was Joseph's friend. And the same thing happens when Avdol dies in season 3. The first time. Second time, it's like, okay, he's dead again. First time, that was sad. Second time, no. Actually, funny story about the Avdol death. I did a bit of reading. So a bit of JoJo trivia here. So in the original serialization, because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was a manga. Hey Mimi, welcome to the stream. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was a manga, and in its original runs, when Avdol died the first time, when he tries to protect Polnareff from Whole Horse, you know, he gets shot and dies. Apparently I read there was so much fan outrage that the writer, whom names escapes me right now, Aruhiko something, I'm sorry. That's like mad disrespectful. I apologize. Anyways, the writer of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, he brought him back simply because that there was so much outrage over Avdol dying. But at the same time, it's kind of a dick move because like he literally just brought Avdol back to life and just to kill him again when they fought Vanilla Ice. You could have just left him dead. You could have just left him dead. And I saw it again. Actually, you know what? I have a book from him. Hang on. I'll be right back. So you sneak through here. And then you get the thing. Okay. Okay, so besides writing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and a couple of other things, Hirohiko Araki had written a book called Manga in Theory and Practice: The Craft of Creating Manga. It's a pretty thick book, but it's a very interesting read to see how he came up with all the ideas and his theory on developing a story or developing characters who have to live in the world. And I think that's a very cool way to do things. I want to talk more about this book later when I talk about my inspirations, but to talk a little bit about this, he has a segment here where he talks about how he writes how his characters deal with the stuff of the world he created. And if I had to summarize or paraphrase, he has a theory of where you create the world first, and then you create characters that have to live and deal with the rules of that world. And I think that's great. Give me a second. And I can tell you, as like an avid anime watcher, comic book reader, gamer, I'm gonna move you over a little. I can tell you that that is not a common practice. I've seen a lot of times, especially with like isekai type stories, not like the OG ones. I'm talking like modern day ones, you know, the isekai slot. It's not that case. It's more like an idea that the main character gets into and the world revolves around them. Not that they have to live in the world. Technically, an isekai protagonist, as terrible as they all are, they're supposed to act as a proxy for the reader and or viewer, which I think is bullshit, but that's a whole other story. And so it comes, I don't know. That's just how they write it. They write the character first. And then, you know, it's just like, sort of like a copy-paste world, and everything just sort of revolves around them, you know? It was like the ultimate Mary Sue. Mary Sue's are like this. And with this other theory, I'm gonna go the world first theory. I think that makes it more grounded. I think that makes stories more grounded, and it makes it more, I don't want to say realistic, because honestly, it's JoJo, it's sci-fi, it's like fantasy, okay? I can't call something that has a ghost man coming out of nowhere and punching the shit out of a giant stone face. I can't call that realistic. But what I can say is that just having that where they have to live with a certain rule set, I find that more grounding. So I'm not saying anything. I'm kind of just. But anyway, you know. So it's definitely a great read. Definitely check it out. Again, manga in theory and in practice, the craft of creating manga. Check it out. If you're interested in writing, and I don't think it has to do with creating comic books. I think you can use this to gain inspirations on like maybe other crafts. Again, it's just the theory I'm talking about, not like a step-by-step process of how to do things. Anyway, so and it just demolished her. So there's all that. I've been talking about this while Beyond Good and Evil has just been playing, and I because again, Monday was not that it was okay. I had fun with it, but it was okay. Like looking back at it. You see, it's like these things here. Like when I'll have to try and move the camera left and right, and it won't let me. Or sometimes the camera will just crawl right up on Jade, and I'm trying to move it, and it won't let me. You don't see anything. You don't see anything. No. And of course, I keep screwing up, bringing up the photo camera and sprinting, because I play a lot of other games with WASD or keyboard mouse, and I am so used to like making a character run or sprint with shift. And that's not the button with this game. Shift in this game brings up the reticule, so you can snap pictures or throw like little discs. And space, which is the one I'm used to in games for like jumping or like something like that, that's the button I have to push to get her to sprint. There's no jump button. You sort of just walk up to a ledge and she'll just do it herself. So that's why like a lot of the times when you see me stream like this game, I'm bringing up the photo camera like 4 or 5 times in a row, is because I'm trying to get her to sprint. And when you hit the camera, it's a toggle, meaning that you just have to tap it and she'll bring it up. And I'm trying to mash it, trying to get her to put it away as fast as I can, and I end up dying because I can't remember which button to damn is. I don't want to remap it either, because I know if I remap it, I'm going to push the wrong button anyways. So I'm kind of stuck with what it is. I did get confused here, talking about the pictures, because, Beyond Good and Evil, these last few streams happen where I have to go to like a certain area and take a picture of something. That's what we're doing. We're like spies, right? We're like spies. We're trying to expose like this big government conspiracy. We sneak into a place, take pictures, and our buddies bring it out into the world. That's basically the main gist. But sometimes I'm getting confused because it's like, it gives me like the little things where it tells me, hey, something is here, but you can't touch it or take a picture of it. And I end up in the same spot just trying to like look at something, and like that's why I thought like the ship was important, because it has like the big logo on, and I'm like, if anything's telling, that's it. Dang it. So I got stuck. The reason I got stuck and like yesterday's stream was because I missed an entire area. Yeah, I was supposed to be taking a picture of that. So I think we can just continue on. Yeah, we can just move on. He's just immune to the lasers, I suppose. Yeah, I wish I didn't have to do this, but again, I have to do this kind of thing. So, Tuesday was an interesting day because I got to unveil a game that I'm going to play after the hiatus, and I do want to make a special costume for it. So as you saw, it was I do want to make a special costume for this game. I tried to mimic like how the character portraits come up, and I have like the thing here for the chat. I really like the layout. But Subterra Core, Legacy of the Creator. It caught my attention like automatically because I like sci-fi. Which is funny that I wrote a fantasy book. But I like sci-fi, and I also like retro anime. Retro anime to me is basically like Slayers up. All right. It pushes in the cutscenes are just fun. Look at this. Look at this pre-rendered goodness. It's crunchy. Everyone looks like they're made of Play-Doh. It kind of looks like stop motion. This is gold.
Let's go before it comes back.
Runner can get us home fast. I refitted his legs this morning.
I mean, look at this guy's mohawk. That's not hair. That's not hair. That's paper he glued to his head. That's what that is. But besides that, the game's pretty decent, and I really like I like the dialogue. I really do. I like the dialogue. The combat's all right. It pretty is reminiscent to like say a Final Fantasy game because you have like this ATB bar that fills up, and they have where it's 3 segments. And if you choose to attack when you have like a segment like up to here, it'll do a weak attack, like a medium attack, a strong attack with a full bar. It's simple. It's not, you kind of get it. It like no longer existed. So what I have is the... Hey, let me see. I did get lost. I'm actually considering of taking a bit and like editing this whole thing to make a video on it. So where I can just like edit out all the walking parts. I'm considering it. I might not, may or may not.
Work faster, bot.
I wouldn't count on Grub to repair the work bots if you break them.
That sheet, I wouldn't let him near them anyway.
Let me see. There are... Yeah, I'm just trying to get past the point where I got lost.
Collecting junk.
Which took a while, I admit.
Grub's too narrow-minded. There are millions of uses.
I was trying to follow the story, right? And I didn't think... Because, look, they were just got done saying that you had to go to class, right? You had to go to class. You had to go with, like, the kids and learn, I don't know, fucking history or something. Plymouth Rock, I don't know. And so I was trying to imagine, oh, well, it must be nearby. There's no way I have to cross the dangerous caverns to go to school. I was wrong, apparently. And I had to look it up. Again, I'm honest. I looked things up. I don't have a guide on me or anything like that, so it's still mostly blind, but if I'm stuck, I'll look it up. I guess it is through this spot, because maybe it's like through here. And yeah, you have to go through this spot to go to the school that's over here in a place that's full of like these wolf creatures. I'm like, that's kind of messed up. Nope. Okay, so let's see how this works. That's kind of messed up. So like, what, the kids had to fight this thing too? I got by because like Maya has a machine gun. Is that why there's so very little of them? Are they the strongest ones? Is this just like so we gotta wait to survival of the fittest kind of things? The future of like the the future of the small city is that they have to call out the weak ones, and that's how they do it. They're like, oh, you have to go to the temple across there's like this desert place full of wolf monsters. Hope you don't die. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, that's not so bad. I like the sound effects. I have like very little patience. Although I gotta say, I know the inspirations for this game was to try and blend like CRPG with JRPG as well. This guy is straight up Final Fantasy 1. You just gave like the promotional Warrior of Light 2 swords. Like, this is Final Fantasy-esque design. Like, look. I'm inspired by things too, and I'm sure if you looked at any of my stuff, you know, you'd be like, oh, well, that's just ripping off this, that's just ripping off that. But there's just sometimes where you wear your inspirations on your sleeve, or maybe something's a bit too on the nose, and I'm like, dudes, this is Final Fantasy 1. You look at the intro, it's this guy. He's packing a second sword.
Is Marduk.
Also, kind of like reminiscent of anime of the time where they had like this very tight armor that was basically like a bodysuit. Basically, like if you look at Vampire Hunter D, great movies, cool novels, cool comics, it's all cool. I haven't played the game yet. I might, but they're kind of like this too. But this one is just a bit, it's just too there. This is Warrior of Light, guys. This game's like from like 1995, 99 or something like that.
Fate of the Heart, who helped Marduk with her light.
Okay, you know what? There. Again, I don't mind it that much. It's fine. It's fine. It's still a great game. So far, it is. Again, I really like the humor. It's like low-key humor. I got this. What is I dig that kind of thing. Hydro attack. So what do I do? Oh. Dude, the magic sucks though. I hope that we have somebody in the party that does this better, because look at this. It's 9. Or is that an 8? Sorry, I couldn't see it, but still, it's pretty bad. It's still pretty bad. So I'm hoping we get like a magician at some point that really makes use of the cards. Because I want to say, yeah, man, that's lame. And you can only use you once. I don't dig that. I don't dig that at all. Miss. This was hard though. Like for your first major encounter, this spy here was a bit difficult. Like considering like your first go around, I lost once. I got like some healing items, which honestly, if you're playing a JRPG, which this game basically is, it's an American JRPG. Game over. You're gonna have to stock up on curatives. And they're super important. Even when you have a dedicated healer, like say a white mage, I don't know who it is in this game. I saw all the characters, but I don't know what they do. Okay. So if when I do get a dedicated healer, you're still gonna have to get like an amount of curatives. Because there's gonna be a boss, or you're gonna have a moment where you're gonna have to decide who to heal with your healer. And that's where curatives come in, because you're going to have the healer heal one character, and then you have the second character heal themselves with the potion you packed. That's how you play it. But yeah, this is pretty rough for like your first major engagement. I wonder if you were supposed to go over to like the where the wolf creatures were at and farm them. I wonder if that's what I was supposed to do. Because I was just going straight through, you know? I did it. I did it just fine. I didn't farm at all. You know, you watched the video, you know. I didn't farm at all, and I made it through the encounter just fine. It's more like getting rid of the middle guy and then taking out the two other dudes. Because I think if you try and do the other way, which is what I tried to do in the first place, you're going to die. Do I just have to wait to die every time? I also kind of appreciate that. I'm not sure if it's in this. I'm not sure if that kind of thing is in this game, but there's a sort of like trope, a stereotypism, something like that, that there are some of these RPG games where there are mandatory losses so you can advance the story. I thought that's what this was, because just how rough it was as like first major engagements. I thought it was a dedicated loss. What I thought was going to happen was that we were going to lose and a cutscene would come in, and then the Mohawk guy would come out of nowhere, join us, and then we'll have to do like a second battle, and then we beat the guys. That's what I thought was going to happen, and it didn't happen that way. It really gets better once you start getting other party members. Speaking of, wait, I don't remember those guys. Hold up. Who are they? So we got full health. Oh, dude, yeah, that's the second. Yeah, okay. That's my retry. go down to like dangerous parameters, I'll just pop one of the. I may say, ba. These robots are awesome. And here's so fast. These two, they're my favorite characters. I've only played this game for like an hour, 14 minutes, and I like these two. They're my favorite characters. They remind me of like the Biggs and Wedge, from my Final Fantasy games, and it's these two. They're super polite robots, and I really like how easily they just get turned around. I really enjoy that. Don't tell me I gotta fight the robots. Wait, how does this work? Yeah, that's gonna take some getting used to. Hang on, I actually want you to listen to the dialogue.
I'm sorry, Maya. We can't let you into the city. I'm sorry, Maya. We can't let you into the city. Yeah, we have to stop you, report you to the mayor, and have you arrested.
Mayor treats you like junk. Grub made you, not Mayor.
Yeah, she's got a point. He is a jerk, isn't he?
Hey, Spade, welcome to the stream.
I'm sorry, miss. We can no longer talk to you in an official capacity. We're on strike. Yeah, we're on strike.
Hey, it's good. No big. I've ever seen in a game. So yeah, those two are my favorite. I hope we get to see more of them. I hope we get to see more of the robots. You should be over in the junk pile. So it looks like a bowling ball. Yeah, their heads kind of like look. They kind of look like bowling balls. Also, kind of knight-like. Like I'm sure. I think it's just like the chassis part here. That's probably what I'm looking at.
Arrest her!
We can't talk to you unless you're an official union representative. We want better pay.
I don't pay you at all, you idiots! Ah!
That's great. I hope they come back. I want to see more of those guys. And then, most of the stream, I admit, was just running around in a circle aimlessly. That's why I'm considering like the video format. So this place? And I might continue in that fashion. I don't know.
Hey there, runner. Nice to see you too.
The Robo Dog here is kind of funny because it's supposed to be the same one that they sort of hitched a ride in the beginning of the game. It looks so much smaller here. Like, I imagined Runner being much bigger.
Hey, Maya, what's up?
Tori's in trouble. He's been selling weapons from the junk piles.
Sounds like his style.
Yeah, well, he's run away to Outlaw Canyon.
I like how he's like, yeah, that sounds like him.
Shell 3 are after him.
Like, it's no surprise. Like, yeah, I kind of figured.
They do.
Outlaw Canyon, huh?
Again, I like the dialogue. I hope to see more of it in the future. Like, when I come back, I'm gonna be playing this game a lot.
Gotta finish the repairs of the...
Mayor's involved.
Maybe, like I said, in video format, I might just play it, and I might just like edited
He gets upset.
videos.
Can you help me?
So like streams won't be like just watching me run around in circles.
Mayor's cool by me.
Or who knows, maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll have like the stream and then there'll be like the edited version. Alright, we got some, and we ended here. I haven't touched it. I am going to, like, in the weekend and weekday, just to see if I can get some leveling done. I really doubt it, though. I did some research, and apparently this is one of those games where the game itself kind of gives you enough to just make it. Everything else is just kind of extra. But, you know, I'm going to try because I want to play the game some more. Playing with mouse only is kind of weird. I'm just not into that. I know it's a CRPG thing where you can just move a mouse, click something, and they'll go to it. I just like playing with the WASD. The fan patch I downloaded actually has like this thing where you could have had controller support, but I just didn't want to mess with that. Because the thing is, this game has a handful fan patches and some background stuff. I actually spent a lot of time trying to decide which ones to get. But what happened was is that I had to choose one because there was only one that was available. So in speedrun.com, where they categorize and document a bunch of speedruns for a variety of games, there was a forum there that had a fan patch for this game. It was called the Quality of Life patch. I had a bunch of stuff for it, and I was going to get that because I care more about the optimization of a game and the playability. And that's what the Quality of Life was going to give me. It was going to give me all the bells and whistles. It was going to make the game just a little bit better looking than it is. But the problem is that the links I found were all broken. They all led me to dead pages or like the 404 kind of thing. So I had to go to github.com to get a completely different patch. The SR patch, it has a much longer name, but that's what I'm calling it. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll see. Very simple to upload into your game, especially for like what I have, which is the I got this one off of GOG, and it's the background download, so I don't need a launcher or anything like that, and it was still really simple to install. Of course, you can get this game on Steam as well. It's all the same game. And from what I read, I didn't have to do that. I could have just played the game by itself, but I just wanted to have like a bit of leeway. Because apparently the SR patches and all the fan patches have a thing where on modern PCs, some of the cutscenes sort of break the game. Or like there are like some missing stuff that just goes absolutely awry on modern PCs. Because from what I read, the modern day distributors, they did not they didn't even try to fix it. They didn't try to fix like the problems the game had. They just gave it to you as is. So this game from like the 1990s, this is the game from the 1990s. On a PC from like 2024. And you know, that has its own set of problems. God's runner, a robo dog. But yeah, I do want to make a costume for this because I'm really hyped for this game. And I try and make myself costumes for games that I'm into, and I have a pretty ambitious idea. I just don't know how I'm going to fit it in this little box, but I have a pretty ambitious idea. We'll see much later. Because I want to borrow like the ideas that this game kind of has, you know, as like that retro anime, sci-fi kind of thing. I want to borrow elements from Outlaw Star, Scryed, this game, maybe Slayers. That's probably gonna be it for Trigun. You know, they're all sort of like in the same kind of mesh, you know. So I heard the Gunsmoke Sci-Fi, and one, that sounds cool as fuck. Two, that sounds accurate. Like, if I didn't. Also, you could probably almost say like this is kind of apocalyptic like as well. Like you think Fist of North Star, Mad Max, that kind of thing. And I guess you'd be right. I might. It kind of fits around like there's like a sort of similar circle, you know. Tell me what to do, but where to. Let me see. And yeah, that's the end of that stream. I feel like I didn't talk a lot in this about this one, but it. Trust me, I had fun. Okay. Long exasperated sigh. We played Digimon Story Time Stranger on Wednesday. Look. I feel really split about this game. I'm super split. I know I sound like a broken record. or like the world's most boring streamer when I say like, look, the story sucks, but the game is great. I'm going to tell you again, the story sucks, but the game is great.
There.
Because it's just borrowing tropes that, you know, and certain like ticks from things that we've already seen. There's almost nothing original here. Maybe like with the way it's going forward is a bit original, but at the same time, you know, I shouldn't be able to predict story jumps, story twists. I shouldn't be able to predict things way ahead of time.
Myself, Glurp.
Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, it's just that the whole first half of the game is so rough. Of course, you know, it's like on the whole first half of it, it's a Red the Great. It's rough, man. And if anything, I admit I am playing kind of slowly.
Great.
Because I got rid of the two morons. And I really hope they don't come back. I know they're going to. I know there's going to be a period where we're going to have to get them back. And there's going to be like this whole thing. Because again, I predicted like ages ago, Aegeomon was the problem. And then he became the problem. And then I think it was this stream actually. Where I was like, so like it's super obvious. He became the bad guy so he can continually loop time to try and find Inori. And then where is it? Where the fuck is it? It's in here. Yeah, and then he's like, oh yeah, I did this so I can find Inori. Flipping time around like it's Majora's Mask. You just smacked him in the back of the head. Okay. Like again, it's that sort of thing. It's a problem I have, man. It's like I can't enjoy like twists like this because one, I see it coming a mile away. Two is like there's a sort of disambiguation between what I infer already and from like how the game is trying to present to me that it's shocking. It's not. I'm not that. It's look, I'm not. That's gonna be kind of weird to say, but like, look, I'm not an expert in this kind of thing, right? And again, I just sort of think like a game shouldn't be so weird that you can't predict any part of it, but you shouldn't be able to predict things, continually. And that's my biggest problem with this game.
I'm talking about some empty, meaningless.
Although, this guy is my favorite partner. I really wish we could have kept him.
Sweet talk.
I really, really wish we could have kept him. He is funny.
Compliment you can think of, Glurp. Come on, Glurp. You must have something for me. Just say whatever comes to mind, Glurp.
I think this whole area was kind of funny in the first place because like I was trying to say that it was very pessimistic. It's like optimistic as hell. You know, it's a complete opposite. And this is sort of like feeling I have with like Souls games from FromSoft, particularly, where they're sort of nihilistic meaning in short term, right? That nothing really matters. Pessimistic is sort of like the opposite of optimism, meaning that if it's bad, they're gonna be like it's a whole lot more worse. Having the dialogue options is great. I enjoyed this part so much. I really want to keep this guy around. It should have been just like a game-long mechanic. Yeah, that's where you go, have we met before? Oh my god, that's so bad. Have we met before? That's the realistic answer.
Ugh, stop. Enough. I don't need any glurping more.
You just give him like the cheesiest lines. I feel like this sort of pseudo satirical kind of thing is it's pretty up my alley. Really. It's pretty up much my alley. It's not really much of a commentary of how bad these like phrases really are, but like to the point where, you know, there's like a realistic view of it. You know, it's going to sound bad, so I'm not gonna get into it.
Choose where I land.
But I find the power funny. It is so left field. It's ridiculous and it's funny. So it's like, if this guy passes one of those live, laugh, love sort of signs, he's gonna be puking and he's just gonna get teleported somewhere.
So I've got no choice but to glurp it up. Okay.
That's sort of like the equivalent of like when you hear someone say something and you're like, oh come on, that's like the most unoriginal thing. Not because it's OP or anything, but because how funny it is. So it's like the cornier it is, the weirder the place he gets teleported. To borrow the words of a great philosopher that also makes videos here on YouTube, it's like sort of the equivalent of giving someone directions where it seems like super obvious, and then you go, oh, if it was a snake, it would have bitten you. Starts hearing cliche. Even saying the words causes psychic damage. Like, it's supposed to be terrible for the guy. That's just wrong, man. Maybe he doesn't even watch TV. He doesn't even read books. And then you just hit him with like... I just love the choices. I wish there were way more. There should have been more of them. Like these. Like, they're so funny. They're so funny because they're so cheesy. That's it. It's just the borderline, you know. That's just so cheesy. Of course, you could probably take away a whole lot more from it. Considering that this is supposed to be like hell, from what I think. The game is cool, the pros outweigh the cons. Yeah, that's true, it's true. It's just that the cons sort of make themselves way more prevalent because they sort of force you to eat it. It's not Digimon World 3. You know, fair point. I guess I can't judge it anymore. It's not the classic.
Wow. Much appreciated. Everyone.
This game will get way better once I beat it.
Let's hear a real groaner, Glurp. A platitude that'll send me.
This game will get way better once I beat it.
Comes to mind, Glurp.
Digimon World 3 was the better game. Oh man. Yeah, that one. That one. I'd like to... I can't even say anything, man. Oh god. Even I'm cringing from that. I'm just reading it. Hey, Spade, welcome to the stream. You know, maybe one day I should just play Digimon World 3 again. Maybe not on the channel. No one wants to see that. But maybe I'll just play it on my own one of these days. What's he doing? What's this? Look at him. It has to have the 4Kids way of writing. That's its biggest problem. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, because the problem with the 4Kids way of writing is that it's as cheese can get. And I think that if Digimon wants to try and separate itself from like Pokemon and like some of the other sort of like shows and like franchises like this, I don't think it can go back to that. What I think it could do is that it could still have like a sort of like more mature story, not too mature, right? Or dark or edgy or anything like that, because Digimon Survive was a lot like that, and I heard like a bunch of terrible stuff. I saw it too. That doesn't look good. They're both so good. But what it can do is that it can go for like a little further up like the demographic, and I think it can actually separate itself. Speak for yourself. I would watch. Okay, fine. That's you, man.
Do it. Preparations complete.
Anyway, so
Much appreciated. Everyone.
honestly, I just can't wait to beat this game. I can see the frame. Want to keep around this guy. If there's any like end game stuff, I might postpone the hiatus so I can show those off.
Oh god, they're both
Like post end game kind of stuff. Like maybe like there'll be not the DLCs. I don't think I'll be doing that. One, I really dislike DLCs in general, and the second thing is that especially those of the kind where I feel like they should have been like base game inclusions. Like I was talking about it in one of the past streams, and you have to do like this ridiculously hard dungeon teleporting around to be able to access a Digivolution that you basically just paid $15 for. And I think that's bullshit. Things that the game allows me to pick. What do we have? Everyone's happiness. That's my happiness. If I can see you smile, then I am content. First one definitely. So I'm definitely not going to do the DLCs. I'm not going near those. Besides, I think yeah, Gallantmon X is cool, and maybe some of the other ones as well. But I don't think they're so cool. Or they'll be like, because I would have to wait until I beat the game anyways. For love, not money. If you know, I would have to wait till I beat the game anyway. There's no point. First one definitely. Fire. This boss disappointed me. Not because that it's like a super hard boss or it's unfair or it's too easy, none of that. Actually, I think it's pretty decent as far as bosses have been. What really makes me mad about this boss is that it inflicted like this curse on you, right? And the curse is that if you try and heal yourself, you end up hurting yourself. So Celine, my healer, can actually destroy the whole team by herself. And then there's like actually a point in the boss fight where our little frog run confuses him and he ends up cursing himself. And then came the idea, can I heal him for huge damage? And unfortunately, because my initial reaction to it was that I didn't have the right spell or anything like that, or that maybe you just couldn't let they didn't let the player use items on enemies. But what happened was is that you can't target the enemy with beneficial effects at all. Like period is not an option. So I feel like they did that on purpose, which is a shame because it's a very there's a sort of trick, you know, in like JRPGs where there are certain undead creatures that you can actually kill by healing them. And I thought this was the case, but it's just not a mechanic in the game. So really, it was just more of just like a sorry way of just putting more pressure onto the player. Can't wait till you end the storyline so we can take a look at the world and have fun. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. When I beat the game and they let me run around, again, if there's post-game sort of like content, I will do that. And maybe we'll do like a sort of like tour of like all the places. I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun to do. And then I'll just end it. Yeah, here we go. Or panic. Because we'll do like a tour of like the Digi world and like the human world and again, maybe end game content. But after that, that's it.
I'm feeling it now. Maybe I'll bust out my finest singing voice.
The background is really nice though. Like, I really do enjoy that they actually went out of the way to not only make us a digital world, but also fill it up. I really enjoy it. Maybe too much, you know? I feel like they kind of went crazy with it. Like in, words are abandoning me right now. Wait a minute. left field question. Are you ever gonna go back to Blast Cats? If there's a new demo or the game comes out, yes, I will keep the channel updated on Blast Cats. Okay, so let me explain. So he just cursed himself, right? Because currently if I were to do like another stream for Blast Cats, it would just be the same demo with like the very same stuff. So I feel like there would be no point to doing that. Wait, how do I... So unless there's new content, then no. But the main city place having like being full of Digimon is cool at first, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like they just overdid it. Not that I'm complaining that much, I just feel like they had like way too much fun just putting Digimon all over the place. And it really does make the place feel alive. It's great. Even though they're basically just static, just standing around, it does look nice. Comparatively to like maybe some of the other Digimon games. Definitely against the Cyber Sleuth games. Definitely, because the digital world didn't even exist in those games. So the backgrounds are really nice. I wish I could change moves. Let me see, what else can I talk about? I hate the shadow puppet scenes. I just skip all of them. Oh, this is looking bad, guys. They just repeat information we already know. And I actually have faith, you know, in everyone watching, right? I have faith that everyone kind of already figures what's going on. You know, and I feel like there are some developers that don't. They don't feel that way. Now, that's different from like where they purposefully leave things out for you to try to theorize, and I think that's different.
We know one thing.
I think that's completely different. What this is doing is that it's telling you a thing, and then later it's telling you the same thing in a different way.
From the intel we have gathered.
So to me, the game and then the developers have no faith in the player's intelligence to already configure the information that they were given. It has a couple times already. I low-key find it insulting.
Snatched away. And you say you know of this future for certain.
On the other hand,
It seems that
if there's like
threatening.
games out there or like stories out there where they purposefully leave things out so that you would try to fill in the blanks, I also feel that is annoying, because there's always the thing where if the actual answer could be so obscure or obtuse that you have like there's no way you could have thought of that, or that it's so simple you couldn't thought of it either, or that there's no real answer. Okay, so if I'm gonna make like, am I going to mod Digimon? Hang on. No? Like, if I can tell what it is, I saw the mods anyway, they're not that great. So, we know Aegiomon had become like this big bad, right? And they're manipulating the timeline. The reason being is that they're looking for Inori. So, the Shinjuku Inferno, I just want to get past this. I'm just gonna get past this. It's just, you know, Let me see, Beyond Good and Evil again. Still pretty much stuck in the same sort of area. So I feel like there's really not much more to talk about this game. I did find the like the other area I skipped. And it's cool for exploration, but I feel like I just spent way too much time in this area where maybe like I could have done it if, like, of course, if I knew where I was going, obviously it would be way faster. But just like, I don't know. I just feel like it took me way too long to get past here. There's really not much to say more of it. the story just going down a path where it's like, oh, now the next area is like you have to go get the ship, go to the moon, maybe not save Paige. So there's really not much more to talk about here.
I don't have much time. They're
No Woody mod? No. Absolutely not.
Get this message to...
So I guess that sort of wraps up that segment. That sort of wraps up. Yeah, that wraps that up. So now I can probably get into some other things I wanted to talk about. Hang on. I have like a bunch of buttons here. I'm just trying to see what does what. Okay, so I spoke about it yesterday, but I want to speak more about it in depth. Yesterday, around 2-ish, 3-ish, something like that, I had finally gotten the physical, a physical copy of my own book, by the way. I'm going to sound off on that just in a bit. But I do want to say physical editions are out. And I know the picture right here is really, really faded out. I don't know why that happened. My phone's weird. But the color is a whole lot more richer. And the texture is actually surprisingly soft. Kind of weird. Kind of weird to say that about a book. But I'm very glad that it turned out pretty much alright. Because I was worried that it wouldn't. But yeah. So with this, there are 2 new sources of getting yourself a print-on-demand copy of The Eye of Destiny. You can find them in the links in the description. Of course, there's a bunch of ways you can get yourself like the ebook as well. And I guess I do want to talk a bit about the book itself. I know, I'm the writer. Of course I'm going to talk about it. But hey, I'm going to talk about it. It's my book. So, this book is awesome. I know, of course I would say that. But I mean it. This book is awesome, and I like to share maybe some of my inspirations with the channel. And of course, I'm not gonna bullshit anyone. This just really just like so I can get like more of the word out there. So to give you sort of like a synopsis or like a sort of a summary of what the book is about, because I'm really bad at this, so here it goes. The general thing is that the Eye of Destiny is being sought after by 2 of the main characters, Thomas, a thief, and Crowley. They come from a place called New Brooks and a kingdom called the Even Grounds. The premise of the story is that because it's somewhat satirical and somewhat of a different perspective on like how stories are written, where there's always a hero and there's always a villain. Not in my story. In my story, these are the other guys. If you took like all the side characters from like all your favorite things and you made them the main characters, this is what that is. And I purposefully wrote it where they're still good. Like they don't do anything like super bad. But I wanted to imagine, like, I like to imagine side characters being a whole lot less privileged narrative-wise compared to, like, a main character. And again, when I was discussing manga in theory and practice, there was the idea of writing the world first and then writing characters that have to live by that world's rule set. And I had applied it here. And so what I think a good centered story would be was that, like real life, nothing revolves around you. Nothing revolves around anyone else. You're just given a lot and you live with it. And this is that. Thomas and Crowley were given a hand and they lived with it. They see opportunity, and this is the adventure that opportunity yielded. Of course, they get to meet more characters, and it's a great story. They go all over the place. They go all over the even grounds. Some of my inspirations, I think the biggest one was that I don't have a picture I can show, but just to talk about it. One of my inspirations was back in shit, what was it? 2008. There was a movie called Dungeons and Dragons. That's kind of like one of the biggest inspirations. Not necessarily the characters, although them being con men kind of does come from that. But there was a sense of unity with those characters that I feel that like a lot of like other groups didn't necessarily have. Although of course in the movie, it was obvious who the good guys was and it was obvious who the bad guys were. I kind of wanted middlemen. Does that make sense? Basically, the book is just an amalgamation of all my favorite things and mainly the things I despise about fantasy. Like, not to spoil too much on it, but the reason that I chose that the way I did was because, um, I feel like that a lot of the times when you see a main character, especially for like main characters that are, well, they got the personality of a cardboard cutout. I feel like most of the time when you see them like achieve something, it's not warranted. It's sort of like just handed over. And I'm not into that. And especially since like when you go back in time and you look at like heroes of old, it seems like the sort of tragedies that are befallen them is just really just trying to give a sense of that them overcoming an obstacle. And I wanted to go with the idea that they're still overcoming an obstacle, but the obstacle itself is the world. And again, I know it's fantasy, a tad sci-fi, but I find that more reasonable than having where, like, say you have a superhero who's saving the world, has all these powers, but in their normal life they're a rich guy. I think that sucks. So I did this. You know, it's one of those cases, if it ain't done right, do it yourself. So to talk a bit about like the cover design, I I drew this myself. You know, it was hand drawn. I put it on my printer. I cleaned it up a bit, but it's still like I drew this, much like how I drew myself. I drew this, and I'm really proud of that. I tried to incorporate the elements of all my characters on there. And the main characters, there's 5 of them. And I guess if I had to give like a sort of small summary of who they are, uh, Thomas and Crowley are a duo. You know, they're basically a corrupt Batman and Robin. Thomas is a thief. He It's the best book I've ever read. You're damn right it is. Thank you for reading it. Thomas is a thief. He's not the normal thief. He's not charming. He's not charismatic. He's more down to earth. He's more calmer. And if I had to say level headed, maybe cynical. A lot of the book is cynical, actually. That's the point. My inspirations for him were, of course, again, the callback for like that movie. I really like the idea of having like a thief as a main character. Best book ever. Thank you. Thank you for reading. I appreciate it. So, and I'm not straight up saying that I wrote bad people. It's just I wrote in the middle. You know, they do things to survive, and that's why Thomas steals. Now, he has a friend, a best friend. His name is Crowley, who is a wizard. He's if you look on the lower left of the cover, you see like that staff. Now, Crowley runs a he runs like a he runs a pawn shop, right? He fences. And so they have like a sort of like they have a plan together. Thomas steals the stuff, brings it to Crowley. After a while, he cleans the stuff up, and then he resells it. And that's how they've been living. So yeah, they're criminals. Now, it all changes where in New Brooks, which I know is a funny name for a kingdom. I did it on purpose. I wanted to try and emulate that whole New York City kind of thing. You know, New Angeles, but it's like fantasy. It's fantasy LA, man. It gets attacked by an evil wizard. Yeah, go figure. And this is another part of the story. Another part of the story is that there's actually another adventure being taken place by the typical heroes that you would normally have, and it has the typical villains that you would normally have. The difference being is that there's a treasure, the titular Eye of Destiny, and that's where Thomas and Crowley leave New Brooks, and they go on an adventure throughout the entirety of the Even Grounds to steal and get filthy rich off of selling it. That's it. They have no aspiration. It's not to save the world. It's not to save the princess. It's not to save the kingdom. They're trying to get rich. And along the way, traveling, they get to meet more characters. One of which is, I'll give like a short sort of synopsis on them because, again, I don't want to spoil much, but one of them is named Majestica the Invoker. I was inspired by Final Fantasy mages, the summoning mechanics of the same game, and the idea in like, well, magical girl animes, basically. She is a necromancer and a con man as well. And she has the ability to invoke spirits. Now, I'm not going to get too much into detail here, but there's an idea with mediums where they're not exactly magic users. They're more like the focus item for an energy. And this is what I wanted to put into the book. And so she evokes different spirits within her, and then she becomes them, sort of. You read the book, you'll see. They also meet when they go to like the desert place, because I have a desert area. They meet basically the muscle of the team, Kara. I was inspired by a plethora of things. The Gerudo from Legend of Zelda, I was inspired by Unhel from the King of Fighters, Aisha Clan, Outlaw Star. That whole high energy, sort of annoying, proud type person, but is actually super strong. Oh, and pro wrestling. And then the last member of the team is Roy, a possessed teddy bear with the soul of a cheating gunslinger. And yes, he still holds the guns. I don't think I should add any more to that. That's kind of all you really need. That's all you really need. That's all I would need. I would be like, you're telling me there's a teddy bear that's possessed by like this Roy O'Bannon type character? I'm in. And that's kind of like what I was hoping for when I wrote this thing. Now, to get like a bit into like, I don't know, I guess kind of like the blues of being like indie in everything I do, is that it's really hard getting off the ground. I'm really glad that I got the book going. I'm really glad I have it out on digital shows, and it could be purchased in both physical and digital format. I'm very proud of that. But man, marketing sucks. Man, marketing sucks. getting off the ground for anything sucks. I'm just gonna like I said, just a bit of like I don't know, venting a little. Like, what does anyone do? Like, when I look it up, there's always like this case of like someone just like doing what I'm doing, you know, doing what I'm doing. It's just, you make the thing, you do another thing, and you talk about that thing in the other thing, and hoping it catches on. And that's kind of like what I've been going with. But actually trying to actively go somewhere to talk about that kind of thing is really difficult because my choices are other writers who are in my position who probably have no intention of buying another writer's work. I have I have like companies out there on the internet and such who actually just want to be paid a load of money to create promotions for the work that you did. So you're paying them, and I think that sucks. And the last thing is what I'm doing now. Just hoping that I just put the thing up, I talk about the thing, and hopefully someone goes to buy it. And I gotta say, the indie thing for everything is just overcrowded, man. There just seems like this kind of thing where it's like it happens or it doesn't happen, and it's like you're trying to make it happen, and it just I don't know, man. It's painful. Like how I am. I'm being like basically stumped on like the YouTube algorithm. And it's not just me either. I'm not gonna pity potty or anything like that. There's actually a good number of very entertaining people here on this platform that I feel like the algorithm just completely fucks over. There's a good number. Even on like another platform, Twitch, there's some very entertaining people there. And it's like they're getting nowhere for no reason, and they're genuinely good. So I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna say it's a bit unfair. But anyway, to talk more about the thing, I suppose. I do want to talk about. I don't know. I'm actually kind of out of topics here. That was kind of like the highlight of it. See, here's the thing when I go into this, when I go into like these particular streams is that I go in with the idea of wanting to talk about something for like a while. Right? I have the idea of wanting to talk about something, and I have like this whole thing I want to say, but then I actually do it, it turns out way shorter than I actually mean it to be, and I'm like, oh, well, that was quick. Now it's kind of awkward. And I don't mean to make it awkward, it just happens. It happens to be awkward. So I guess this is probably going to be like the end of the stream then. I still plan on doing the 2-3 week hiatus as soon as I'm finished playing Digimon Story Time Stranger. Regardless if I beat Beyond Good and Evil or anything like that, I just want to do it. And again, I'm considering of having the strategy of doing a stream and then having like an edited version as a video, because like when I was playing Septerra Core, there's a lot of the stream that I honestly think I could probably just cut out. Not fumbles or anything like that, more like just the aimless running around. Not as a replacement, but like as an additive. Let me see. Yeah, so like what does that say? Like an hour 30? Yeah, we're good. I'm good for the day. Honestly, because I just don't have any more to talk about. But so I'll give my send off, and then I will see everyone on Monday when I continue the challenge of trying to defeat Digimon Time Stranger. So, here it comes. Wait, let me get rid of that. Because you have the thing spinning up there all stream, and I mean, if you don't see it, I don't know what to do with you. Anyway, so. Hey, I'm Red, the Gray Fox. I stream here on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday to Friday. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content I'm putting out, and allows me to get seen by the algorithm gods. And also strike the notification bell so you'll be notified of when I start a new stream, upload a new video, or a new short. Thank you all so much for watching. Those that participated in the stream, participated in the chat, those that stuck around and lurked, I appreciate you too. And those that peeked their head in, dipped their toes in the water, decided it was too hot and left. Again, I'm beating it like a dead horse already. Check out my book, The Eye of Destiny. In the description below, there's links to an ebook and there's links to print on demand physical books. It'll take a while to get to you, but I guarantee it's worth it. It's very worth it. And of course, I have other projects in mind coming from the future. I guess to talk about a bit of that, I have a sequel in the works, and I have a completely different project in the works as well. Saturday and Sunday, I do not play anything. I might put out shorts, so of course, look into that. And if I ever do decide of turning the Septerra Core stream into a video, you know, of course, that'll happen during then. And come back on Monday when I continue my playthrough of Digimon Story Time Stranger. Hopefully getting through it. I'm going to try and make the streams longer. Because I think going at like the pace that I am at, it's going to take way longer, and I really just want to just kind of clear it, just so I can get to the fun stuff. And then I'll be flip-flopping between, you know, Digimon and Beyond Good and Evil. And of course, if any of the other games get updated, like as I mentioned before, I'll probably do like a surprise stream of them. But majorly, that's my plan. And, you know, of course, next Friday, like every Friday, we do the weekly roundup. We're really close to 20. We're really close to 20 of these. I want to do something special for number 20. I just don't know what. I'm going to think about it over the week. But yeah, the 19th one will come out on Friday. Like, you know, every Friday, there's always a weekly roundup. So, I hope you all have a good night, or a good morning, wherever you are.